everyone's doing good out there. We just got Tesla here. We're looking at Tesla here. This is how I've got my TOS, my Thinkorswim, my TD Ameritrade platform set up. This is just one of the screens I use. As you can see, I've got increments, 15 minute, 30, middle 1 hour, middle bottom week, daily top right, monthly bottom right. I like to see what's happening because I want to use time frame continuity. That's where you're looking at different time frames to see what the stock is doing so you can enter a trade. This works for long-term or short-term trades. For example, if you're going to do like a quick scalp or a day trade or something like this, you're going to look down here. Of course, you're going to change your time frame probably to at least a 3 minute or something like that, something short. If you're going to plan on scalping, being in a trade, maybe 5-10 minutes. So you'll look at it here, but you're going to look at the overall on a higher time frame. What is this thing doing? Is this thing going up on the 30? What does it look like on the hourly? What does it look like on the daily, weekly, monthly? It all fits. But again, if you're doing a short trade, not short as in selling and then buying to short a stock, I'm talking like a quick scalp, a day trade if you would. Set everything up to what your time frame you're going to trade in and then scale back out. Okay, like I have the 30 here. If I'm trading on the 3, I'll probably put a 5, a 10, a 15 minute in these boxes here just to see, and then adjust my time frame continuity, but always using time frame continuity as my key to getting in and getting out of a trade. That is my plan. That's how I do it. That's how I trade. And if I'm going long, okay, if I'm going into a week, a month, or longer, of course, I'm going to look at the higher time frames. Like, for example, Tesla right now. We've seen it probably since February, kind of just really acting crazy, just, kind of on its way down. But you see this channel here that I've set up. It's still within this channel. We've crossed the bottom. We dipped a little bit, but kind of came back. We're going to watch this. We're going to see what's going to happen with this thing. We got a lot of, one tweet. That's all it took. One tweet, and Bitcoin went drugged down with Musk's tweet, and then of course Tesla's getting nailed on it. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of outside stuff that's happening, more fundamental than technical. But we can still look at the technical and see what's happening. This month of May, we saw that this candle, this red one here. Let me switch to the bigger. There you go. So we saw in May or April, this was an indecisive candle for the month, meaning it didn't break above, it didn't break below. So what does that tell you? That tells you to stay clear. If you're not in this, if you're not holding, don't trade anything on the inside months. Just wait. Okay, so what did you see here? We saw it kind of dip up maybe a day and then crash. Okay, not crash completely, but it tanked. And we could have gotten in and did a short, meaning you're selling it and then hopefully someone's going to buy it at a lower price or a higher price, or however that works. I don't short. I don't have a margin account. If you do, be very careful. They are very dangerous. They can be, if you don't know what you're doing, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble, in deep. So be very careful with that. But you can do an option. Okay, you can put. So that's what I would do. I would have done a put at this point here. Once it went below this candle, I would have probably put, went out a couple weeks and placed a trade in for a put option, and then rode the thing down until it kind of got back up, and then got out when I felt it was comfortable, good enough earnings, and I'm out. So looking at the monthly, that's what you can see, the whole big picture of what's happening. This is what I do. We always look at what's happening on the macro. Okay, let's go down to weekly. Okay, for the last, let's say since May, we've had the first week had a down candle to the bottom end. Same thing last week. And today we saw, looks like it kind of went above a little, but it didn't quite break the bottom wick there. You see that shadow here? Didn't quite break that, so we can't call this a down day or a down week yet. Probably going to have some more sell-off. A lot of people that probably bought in here thinking, okay, this is the bottom. It's back on its way up. Now they're holding, and they're bag holders, and they're probably getting a little nervous, so we'll probably might see a little more sell-off. You know, people selling out. Again, we've got, during this last year or so, we've got more people in the stock market than we really need, as far as that know what's going on, because they really don't. And that's why you see these fluctuations, or the reaction of a tweet or whatever, and then someone sells, and then it's in end of the world, and we got to get out. It's a bloodbath. I'm losing everything. And that's what you have. You have shaky hands, and it just, we see it. We've seen it all year. We've seen it for a year. So again, look at what's happening. Look at the macro. See what's happening here. Would I jump into Tesla right now? No. It went below our broadening pattern here. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to probably have to adjust it again, probably after May, to see what's happening. If it kind of came back and touched back here at 633. If it does, then we're still within our channel, and we're still safe if you're holding. Would it be a good time to get in? We got to see. We've got to break above 706.45 in that ballpark, 708, 707. We have to break above that to know that we're back on our way back up on a positive. You can, again, we can go down to a daily and do a day trade and here and there, but long-term investing, you want to look at the bigger time frames and make sure that there's continuity there. Okay, what do we see here? For the last 4 weeks, down. Okay, month, the last 4 months, down. So what is it telling you? It's going down. Okay, the dailies, what have we seen since April 21, or even go back even April 14th? Down, 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 down. So it's showing us in continuity. We're seeing the same thing on the daily, down, weekly, down, monthly, down. We're seeing this. We're seeing this play out. Again, we wait. If you're not in Tesla, I would wait until you have confirmation that this thing's turned around. What I have here is the 8, the EMA 8. I don't trade off of it. I just use it as kind of an indicator. I don't, again, it's a lagging indicator. It's telling me something that happened before, and I don't really care about what happened before. I'm worried about what's happening right now with price action. But I do keep it there because there's one rule with the EMA 8 that the candle has to come back. If it starts stretching out this far, I know I'm overextended, because it always, the candle, the price action has to come back to the 8 either way. We see it here where it was kind of overextended. Could it have just dropped a little and gave it time for the EMA 8 to catch up? Yes. And then continued on? Yes. But what we see here was we didn't. It just dropped. It just dropped. And what do we see? The distance between the 8 and the candle was pretty far. We knew it had to come back. Well, it touched it here, and it could have bounced off, but it didn't. What do we see here now? Today, Monday, the 17th. We saw that on the monthly, it dipped below our 8. How does this look on the weekly? Sorry, that's the minute. Let's go to the weekly here. We are below the EMA 8 on the weekly, meaning what? And we're far below it. Look back here on this day. We were far away from that EMA 8, weren't we? And what happened? It had to come back to it. Yes, it kept going down, but you see the pattern? it keeps coming back to touch that. Okay, so are we overextended here on the lows? Possibly. Can this possibly hit the 8 and the 8 come back down in this area here and bounce and then cross it and go across as it hits our border, our broadening channel here? Possibly, hopefully. But could it also go down even more? Of course. Once it touches that, again, it came back to neutral area. It can go down again, or it can go up. So again, we watch. And right now, that's what Tesla is right now, is a watch stock. I wouldn't touch it. If you're not in it, I would wait for confirmation that we are in a back into a bull run. But right now, it is looking like a bear trap. If you want to get in, it's highly likely that you're probably going to get in too soon. I would wait so you don't bleed too much. But that's Tesla. That's Tesla. There's a stock, a penny stock. I don't do much of these anymore, but this one caught my eye. A friend of mine told me the other day because I was in the golf industry and the vacation industry as well. This one here, World Series of Golf Inc. They're just coming out with an app, something to do with vacation homes or whatever. But someone told me about this a couple weeks ago. And if you look at the weekly here, yeah, it was like, I think it was like 20 cents or something when someone told me about it. And yeah, it's down here in this range here, about 20, 25 cents. But it had jumped up last Friday or last week and topped almost 60 cents. Or almost 6 cents. I'm sorry, almost 6 cents. This was 2 cents. So that was a three bagger. You know, it tripled itself. Today it looks like, I'll go to the daily. Today was still up. We're still up because it did not break the bottom of this candle. So we're still in an uptrend. But we do know what? We know that it has to come back towards the 8 again. It doesn't have to cross it, doesn't have to touch it, but it does have to come down. So possibly tomorrow what you'll see is probably a low start, the 8 will catch up, and then it should take off. Again, this is a penny stock. Who knows where it's going to go. This is as high as it's been. There's no other historical data. I think 7 cents or 21 cents was the high that I see there. So, you know, we're sitting at 6.6 cents. And if this thing goes up to $2, $3, you're sitting on something. But anyway, something to look at, kind of just put in the back burner, kind of just keep your eye on it and see what happens with it. Again, this is just a penny stock. They're volatile. I would not advise in trading penny stocks unless you really know what you're doing, and you gotta have everything on the trigger and ready to go, because these things can fall out like in minutes. So be careful out there, especially with these penny stocks and the rest of the market. Just kind of look at it. I mean, we're going to look at the spider right now and see what she's looking like. Again, we always go to the monthly. Let's go to the month. See what do we got. There's my broadening formation I drew months ago. Yeah, I drew that back in March last year, actually. Yeah, so that broadening, it had to start broadening way back there in March. That was the bottom of it. And it just started going up, going up, going up, going up. So what do we see now? It's still going, and we're actually extended over my top channel there, my range, which I'm going to have to readjust, but we'll see. It's still kind of hugging the 8, so the spider's still moving up. You know, it should come back down a little bit, should bounce off of that 8 and continue on. That's if Apple and other tech stocks that are in spiders does well, and if they continue to go up. But I think what's happening right now is tech's getting a little beat up here. Yeah, Apple was down about $1.18. Amazon did okay today. Baidu was up a little bit. Yeah, most of your tech stocks, a lot of them were down. They're Nvidia, Netflix, Microsoft, all down. So it's dragging this stuff down. But let's keep an eye on it. It is a put option paradise right now. Get in, get out, hang on for a day, hang on for an hour, hang on for a week, whatever. But there's money to be made in puts right now, an option put. So I wish you all the best always. And again, knowledge is power. Power is confidence. Confidence will overrule your emotions and make you a better trader. So continue studying, continue trading, even in small amounts, so you can actually get some blood in the water. I mean, that's how you learn. I mean, you can paper trade and be a millionaire. Then once you put blood in it, then you lose. You get some skin in the game. You start getting panicky. So it's good to put a little bit in and test yourself out. Don't put your whole savings in and go blow it out. But get some confidence. But again, study, train, test. That's the only way you're gonna become a successful trader, and it's only by controlling your emotions. And that's all I have to say today. So good luck, and be very careful out there. But when there's blood on the streets, as they say, it is opportunity, and there's plenty of opportunities out there right now. All right, stay well, people.